Hello there, and welcome back to Stronghold. And in the last video, I just made a couple of missions, and today we will start with the bad lookout. That is mission 5, and maybe we'll see how far we come. But I actually witnessed that a lot of you were really excited about me playing this very old game, and since it is fun and you know, it's Stronghold, why not continue this path and let's see where this goes. So without further ado, let's start. And yeah, this is basically them talking and the next evil guy coming in, that is the snake. So now we have to look through this map. You can see it's again very tiny. And this is all the map that we have, and this is basically where they spawn. And we are on a narrow island, and there are just 3 paths that will lead into our castle. And we have some archers, but there are not enough. So let's work on this.
Platziert euren Kornspeicher, sire.
Yes, you said it for the 3rd time. I'm hearing you. And we try it here.
Das muss direkt an den Kornspeicher gebaut werden.
So what we need is an excessive amount of wood, and that is very important because we have to build quite a bit. And yeah, I think that's a good start. We have some wood left. Let's already invest in houses. And we obviously then need to start food production, and we only have this, which is, it's not corn, what's it called in English? It's frightening to think that I actually practiced English for so long and still don't know this little detail. So yeah, that's something for you.
In diesem Gebäude gibt es keine Arbeit, sire. In diesem Gebäude gibt es keine Arbeit, sire.
So my idea is practically to have a wooden wall here to just cut off this route and then make here a rather strong fortress. And we need a lot of archers to really stop the enemy's offensive before it even really starts. So for that we need to expand rather aggressively, and yeah, we in theory can build even more wood choppers and hope that this will make the difference. This mission can be really easy, but if you do it wrong, if you time it wrong, then you're in a little bit of a trouble. You can see again we have a timer till the last battle, so we roughly can see where things are going. Let's hope that the wood comes in so we have production going. So now he's waiting, and that's some timing. Good. Next one's going. And we can build 3 before it really goes on into producing flour. Is it flour or flour? Not quite sure. So we're almost there. We need to have more food production than ever, simply because we need to we also need to raise taxes, and we need to have a good score, if that makes sense. So finally some wood's coming in. We actually can build this somewhere here, so we still have place here in the production, so to speak, or very close to the castle center, because then we can have efficient runways for, well, basically everything.
Es sind nicht das Gebäude, gibt es keine Arbeitszeit, um das Gebäude zu verwalten.
The more the better. So two of those, I call them now corn farm, even though that's not 100% right, getting really efficiently in the production because the workers have very short paths, and so what they actually harvest gets really directly into it.
Es werden Rekruten benötigt, Sire.
Wir benötigen Gold.
So that is a problem, but we have started to produce a lot of bread, and this is the most efficient production line, so to speak, or way to produce food if you have the ground to spare, that is. That's not always the case, but when it does, it works really nicely. So here you can see we're really close to the spawn. There is actually the spawn protection area. Absolutely not War Thunder related, absolutely not. And now we have to hurry actually, because it's time. 1, 2.
Wir benötigen Holz.
Mein Herr, in Bewegung. Eure Befehle? Rücken aus. Bin zur Stelle. Bin zur Stelle. Sind auf dem Weg.
This is getting close actually, much more close than it should.
Ja. Bogenschützen bereit. Mein Bogen ist euer.
So investing into archers early on.
Auf die Brustwehr.
Yeah. Question is if we have enough wood to seal here. Seems like yes, we just managed to do this.
Eure Befehle? Bin zur Stelle. Pfeile bereit. Ja. Bogen gespannt. Bogenschützen bereit.
So it's very important to not lose here any archers, just for the KD ratio.
Bin zur Stelle. Ja. Bogenschützen bereit. Mein Bogen ist euer. Mein Herr, in Bewegung. Rücken aus. Eure Befehle? Bin zur Stelle. Sind auf dem Weg. Bin zur Stelle. Ja. In Bewegung. Bogenschützen bereit.
So I think we got this in the back, at least the first wave. And that was not that difficult yet.
Mein Bogen ist euer.
Oh, it didn't spawn. Oh, that's that little edge bug. Well, bugs are in every game, but some games just have more of them. So since we now have a lot of wood, we can expand, so we have a complete fire line, and yes, this here actually makes sense, because you can put a lot of people on there, and we need many more. So that's a little bit of a trick here. Usually this should be quote-unquote automatic. Ah, this bug. Okay, so there is that, this and that.
Mein Herr? Eure Befehle? Bin
Es
zur
werden
Stelle.
Waffen benötigt, Sire.
Bin zur Stelle. Ein weiter Weg. Ja. Rücken aus.
This sounds so
Bogenschützen
obvious, but
Mein
to
Bogen ist
spread them
euer.
out allows for some good fire angles, and it also kind of reduces the incoming fire's effect. So if an enemy archer doesn't quite hit right, he still might hit another one that stands right next to them. So this is why I just want to spread out a little bit, or I want my archers to spread out a little bit rather. And so
Bin zur Stelle. Rücken aus. Ja. Sind auf dem Weg.
by that having less casualties
Mein Bogen
and
ist
retaining
euer.
more
Mein Herr?
defensive
In
firepower.
Bewegung. Bin zur Stelle. Eure Befehle?
So this is going nicely.
Rücken aus.
I think now we have a decent amount of archers already. Food production is going well. We seem to have enough wood. So yeah, everything's fine, I'd say.
Wir verlieren ein bisschen Gold, Euer Gnaden.
Also the facial expression here is, yeah, over 20 years old and still rocks.
Bin zur Stelle. Bin zur Stelle.
Now we can speed up a little bit before it gets boring. At this very moment it's just enjoying the view and just having a good time. Maybe one more. We should have enough wood, but not enough gold.
Bin zur Stelle. Ja. Rücken aus. Sind auf dem Weg. In Bewegung.
That's better. Okay, food production seems to be pretty good actually.
Bin zur Stelle. Bogenschützen bereit.
No production,
Rücken aus.
no resources shortages. Perfect. Just like it should be. And you know, that is on maximum difficulty.
Bin zur Stelle.
Es werden Waffen
Mein
benötigt,
Bogen
Sire.
ist euer. Sind auf dem Weg.
No, let's build a tower. Well, if you can call this a tower. But that would give me a bit of trouble. Yeah, okay.
Mein Herr?
Eine Botschaft der Ratte.
Schon werdet ihr vor mir um Gnade winken. Ihr habt einfach nicht das Zeug, einen Depös zu besiegen.
Yeah. Well, I think we have to...
Ihr könnt das nicht dort platzieren, my lord.
Okay.
Eure Befehle? In Bewegung. Bin zur
Es
Stelle.
werden Waffen benötigt, Sire.
Bin zur Stelle. Rücken aus. Sind auf dem Weg.
It's looking pretty good. Production-wise.
Bin zur Stelle.
Es werden
A
Waffen
lot of
benötigt.
archers.
In Bewegung. Rücken
So
aus.
I'm really interested how quickly this will be over if he spawns. But yeah, the map is also still on the small side. And there we go.
Bogenschützen bereit.
So if anybody would just get red, I would withdraw them from the front line. Or even yellow. So there is a candidate.
Mein Bogen ist euer. Sind auf dem Weg. Mein Herr. Eure Befehle?
And you know, the advantage is you could stop the attack dead in the tracks, and especially if some siege weapons will come online, you can kill the builders for them. And I think
Bin zur Stelle.
Es werden
so
Waffen
far we
benötigt
had
sein.
no losses.
Bin zur Stelle. In Bewegung. Ja.
Let's make it that it stays like this.
Bogenschützen bereit.
So yeah, there are two
Mein
candidates.
Bogen ist euer.
They're practically the last resort defense, although
Bin zur Stelle.
at this stage I probably
Rücken aus. Ja.
won't need them.
Bogenschützen bereit. Mein
It's just
Bogen
more
ist
archers,
euer.
really.
Mein Herr. Sind auf dem Weg. Eure Befehle? Bin
There's
zur
a
Stelle.
if they're yellow, it's getting actually dangerous because at some sort the attack waves are just that large that they'll just go under in
Rücken aus.
the fire of arrows.
Bogenschützen bereit. Mein Bogen ist euer. Sind auf dem Weg.
But yeah, if you would need them, then you'd be in serious trouble anyway. I hope my keyboard is not too loud,
Bin zur Stelle. Eure Befehle?
because this is again a live
In
gameplay.
Bewegung.
So this is not post-commentary like on my War Thunder videos,
Bin zur Stelle.
but
Rücken
just
aus.
playing it live. I'm so confident. Yeah, we could speed this up again.
Ja.
Having
Bogenschützen bereit.
47,
Bin zur Stelle.
let's make them
Mein
50
Bogen
at the
ist
front
euer.
line. At this point it's a bit difficult to spread them all out, but I think you get the idea. That's something for early
Ein
game.
weiter Weg.
At this point you need overwhelm power. That's just it.
Bin zur Stelle. Mein Herr? Sind auf dem Weg. In Bewegung. Eure Befehle? Rücken aus. Sind auf dem Weg.
That's the question. Can you actually see anything when zoomed out like this? I mean, I have a big screen, right? So this is the best resolution I think I can get.
Bin zur Stelle. In Bewegung. Rücken aus.
There is something called archer stacking, where if you do it right and you have basically an empty slot somewhere on the castle, you can send multiple waves of archers there, and they'd be all there,
Die Angst?
but on one place. That's a little bit of an exploit, but therefore you have a lot of firepower coming from one place. And as far as I can tell,
Bogenschützen
a
bereit.
person can only get hit by one arrow. So even if this position gets hit by an arrow, only one of the, let's say, 10 people in that grid
Die Truppen
actually
der
can
Erde
get
greifen an.
hit. Oh, we have some
Mein Bogen
losses.
ist euer, mein Herr. Eure Befehle?
And that's the worst done. And that's already the
Bin zur
first
Stelle.
battle.
Feind ist bezwungen. Eine Botschaft der Ratte.
Meine stümperhaften Puppen haben einfach meinen Plan nicht verstanden.
Yeah, my War Thunder teammates.
Sieg!
So, 2% lost. That was that one dude that we lost. And pretty nice results. So I think we have time for mission 6. And this is now the second part. The kingdom is rising. And again, the thing is now the snake gets actually gets introduced, and now you have the offer of the rat. And let's see how this is going. So basically the rat is offering you a talking, and you think it's a trap. It's a trap, and this is basically your delegation.
Sir Longarm hatte recht.
Yeah, it's a trap. So obvious. And this dude actually should be the rat. So my brave archers get kind of slaughtered here. And yeah, that was not what it should be.
Platziert einen Bergfried, eure Burg anzulegen, euer Gnaden.
So there is a little bit of a trick here, and it's again that you are so close to the spawn that you can't even start building your castle.
Platziert euren Kornspeicher, Sire.
So again, this is on very low speed, because I think it's always very important to make a lot of clicks early on, so that you have the maximum of, well, chance of building your castle early on in the important steps, and then you just can go on to do other things. In this battle, again, I'd say it's just best to do the crops, not corn. I should really look what it's. Okay, and we have enough stone to basically be done with this at the start. I don't know what the devs thought, but there are basically three spawn points here, here, and here. And if you are so close here, then those two spawn points don't get used, and only this one gets used. And how you can kind of abuse it, I shall show you right now in this playthrough, or this mission played. Again, it's on maximum difficulty, and wanted it there. Okay, so
Keine Veränderung in der Schatzkammer, my lord.
So this is basically min-maxing your stones, and I don't need stone production, so I have more people doing all other sort of stuff. And so this takes a little bit of stress off your economy. And we will see what this gives us as benefit. And again, I think I could place it here. Yeah, let's do this. So now we can speed up, and we actually can build this already.
Bin zur Stelle. Ja. Sind auf dem Weg. Visiere an.
Yeah.
Es werden Rekruten benötigt.
Bogenschützen bereit.
This bear is really annoying right at the start. It kills so many of the wood choppers that it actually affects your production. Interesting thing is, at the end of the day, I could still build this, and I will do it, but not for the first attack, where I again will have to struggle with a little bit of incoming troops in big numbers.
Bin zur Stelle.
Wir benötigen
Eure
Gold.
Befehle?
And already we need gold.
Unsere Lebensmittelvorräte schwinden dahin, Euer Gnaden.
And already we need more and more wood. It's really what you are limited
Wir
by
haben nicht genügend
at the
Holz,
start,
my lord.
and what really slows you down a little bit, but it's okay, I guess. There we go.
Bin zur Stelle. Sind auf dem Weg.
There is no more efficient way than this.
Unsere Lebensmittelvorräte schwinden dahin, Euer Gnaden.
We were actually pretty close to getting short on food.
Schwinden dahin,
Food?
Euer Gnaden.
Food.
Ja, in Bewegung.
Oh, is there the bug
Bogenschützen
again?
bereit.
Oh no. Anyway,
Unsere Lebensmittelvorräte schwinden dahin,
just
Euer
in
Gnaden.
time. But just in time. Okay, that was a bit. I forget to speak English here.
Unsere Lebensmittelvorräte
So,
haben
yeah.
Veränderung in der Schatzkammer, my lord.
Let's make some gold. We have a lot of bows in this chamber, so we better make them into soldiers.
Bin zur
Es werden
Stelle.
Rekruten benötigt, Sire. Es werden Rekruten benötigt, Sire.
Mein Bogen ist euer. Rücken aus. Sind auf dem Weg. Bin zur Stelle.
Es werden Rekruten benötigt, Sire.
Maybe I should invest now into stones. And a lot of you talked about Stronghold Crusader and the likes. It's not just this series, kind of
In
obvious.
Bewegung.
And to be honest, I liked Crusader a bit more for its diversity with new units, with an enhanced economy, just larger scale,
Zur Stelle.
and that is just really epic. So when it comes to this, I think if there will be interested in this series of older games, or in older games looking at this game, I could just also play Crusader and make some of the more difficult missions. When it comes to this mission, I think a lot of them are doable. Some of them take quite long actually,
Bogenschützen bereit.
but there is always the problem with that one mission that will come to eventually. Probably not in this playthrough or in today's session with mission 5 and 6. But yeah, we'll have to see. Okay, I probably need to make this one count. Yeah, we got it. And you can actually get up there.
Mein Herr,
So in theory, you could go up here. But the combat value is, well, it's not nothing.
eure Befehle?
Let's have a look.
Bin zur Stelle. Ja. Bogenschützen bereit.
So this is what I mean with stacking them. Doesn't always work. They will, I don't know the right word, destack at some point.
Der Ratte.
Oh, oh, wir ziehen uns also zurück. Das wird euch jetzt auch nichts mehr nützen.
Can't build this. Nope. So in theory, you could build a tower here with also going up. But I don't have the stones yet.
Bin zur Stelle. Ja. Rücken aus. Bogenschützen bereit. Mein Bogen ist euer.
24 units,
Truppen der Ratte
not
greifen
bad. And in good War Thunder tradition, we already spawn camped them. So this is what this position is really crazy. What it's crazy good for. And so the enemy archers are gone. The ladder carriers are also in range. And when they are gone, in theory, only the troops are there. And you can see we basically snap them at spawn. So this is a really great suppression tactic of enemy large contingents. And let me tell you this, if you think it's just archers, etc., there are other units, and there are also really brutal defense tactics. More mechanics, obviously, and which you also could play in the demo, which was in a computer magazine, I think, back in the days when I tried it out, and it was just so good game, which at least one of you also he played the demo like crazy, and I absolutely can understand. This game is just utterly fantastic. Oh, there is only this. Well, I've actually never done this. You can build them.
Bogenschützen bereit.
Why can't I go there anymore? I used to be able to... What happened? I'm confused. I'm just slightly confused at the moment. Don't worry. That's my normal state of being.
Mein Herr?
Even though I built...
Entlegene Dörfer sahen eine Truppe der Ratte auf dem Weg in diese Richtung.
Rücken aus.
I'm absolutely confused right now why it worked and didn't.
Bogenschützen bereit.
Did I delete something? No. Did I? No. What?
Mein Bogen ist euer.
What's going on? That's unexpected. Okay, anyway.
Bin zur
Es
Stelle.
werden Waffen benötigt, Sire.
Let's build more of those, shall we?
Eure Befehle
Die Truppen der Ratte greifen an.
sind auf dem Weg. Bin zur Stelle.
They are so high
Das
up,
Vorratslager ist voll.
it gives them even a range bonus, and it also helps quite nicely in the defense.
Ja.
So we really need to snipe
Ziel
those
angepeilt.
guys.
Pfeile bereit. Bogen gespannt.
So those can be used to climb the ladders. I think with those units, the not pioneers, they are not pioneers. People that like stab other people with lances. And yeah, the catapults, they can't shoot here because there is the rock in the way, and they also can't climb there. They're just not enough, and at some point they try to retreat. And while they could attach the ladders to the walls of the castle, they
Bogen ist euer.
they just had no chance of getting up there. So yeah, that's kind of a luxury problem to have the what do you call this in English? Lager. My English
Bin zur
bad.
Stelle. Mein Herr? In Bewegung.
So where you park stuff for further consumption or further use. There you can see just small investment in terms of food, and you have the whole village with maximum food supply for maximum taxes, so to speak, going on. There's also further possibilities in the economy, and that makes for a really great change. The micromanagement that you could do on this in this game is just absolutely fantastic.
Bin zur Stelle. Bogenschützen bereit.
So yeah, the last wave will come in. Now, so far, this didn't really look all that challenging, but remember, this is what I've played probably 100 times, and I'm not even exaggerating. Most missions were played quite a lot in the various different difficulty settings, and when you have 20 years to practice before you go to YouTube, that's quite something.
Mein Bogen ist euer. Visiere an. Ziel angepeilt.
So let's focus the hard hitters. You can see that they autofocus here on the enemy archers, and at this point there is just the battle won.
Mein Herr, Pfeile bereit. Eure Befehle? Bogen gespannt. Visiere an. Bin zur Stelle. Sind auf dem Weg.
They will not make it, but they actually have come quite a distance. And yeah, when this works, it's actually pretty impressive. There is a much more advanced version, which is the siege tower, and that then will basically bring your soldiers up to the height of the wall more or less immediately. And it has quite the tankiness, so to speak, but that actually never really gets used in the campaign, actually, so that's a bit of a shame. But again, there are so many other variants like siege and conquest. What do you call it? Yeah. So basically, so much more variety than even the entirety of the campaign shows.
Bogenschützen bereit.
But yeah, as you can see, that is basically...
Ihr habt euch mit dem mächtigen Gefäß angelegt und bald schon werde ich eure jämmerliche Armee zertrampeln.
So there is one more attack.
In Bewegung.
There is one more attack coming. I'm confused. Now it goes this direction and it's kind of fine, but...
Eure Befehle? Bin zur Stelle.
Yeah, you know, there are not that many bugs, but the ones that are there are quite memorable. So this corner is really quite interesting for defense. Remember to put the wall to the maximum distance, and then you get away with even low contingents of archers.
Sind auf dem Weg. In Bewegung.
So that's an even larger army, and you could see there was not that much time separating the two. Let's snipe those.
Pfeile bereit. Bogen gespannt. Visiere an. Ziel angepeilt. Bin zur Stelle. Bogenschützen bereit.
I think it also must have been this scene that I saw in the only advert that I ever saw for this game, and that was on the on RTL in Germany. That's the only time I remember an advert for this game. So yeah, this has been mission 5 and 6 if I'm not mistaken, and it's enough time spent. So again, just a quick gameplay. The really interesting missions will come later, and I hope you enjoyed this, because that's it for me today. And as usual, thanks for watching, and let me know in the comment section if you find those tactics a little bit gameplay destroying, immersion destroying, or if this is just what you're looking for, the really efficient tactics, because I have a disturbing amount of them. As usual, see you later.